Welcome to Faith in 5, a weekly video devotional designed to discuss practical spiritual concepts in 5 minutes or less.
Hi, my name is Carter Moss, and I'm your host for Faith in 5 this week. Are you a fan of food? I'm a huge fan. Actually, in the little town I live in, I'm trying to work my way through every single restaurant in town, for research, of course. We're talking in this series about how to connect with God, re-engage with our faith through spiritual practices. And I want to talk about the practice today that's often the most misunderstood, and it's related to food. And it's the idea of fasting. The idea of practicing fasting to help us let go of distractions. We read in Matthew 4, one of the many times that Jesus fasted. It says after fasting for 40 days and 40 nights that Jesus was hungry. To me, that's the most Captain Obvious verse in the whole Bible. He was hungry, you think, right? And don't worry, I'm not going to challenge you to a 40-day fast today. Nobody wants to see you that hangry in your life. But I do want to talk about fasting and hopefully bring some clarity and get you excited about it. First, let's talk about the why. The why behind fasting is letting go of things that become distractions for us in our relationship with God. Sometimes it can even be good things. It can be okay things. But they're things I start to rely on or get obsessed with or get controlled by. So we got to learn to let go of them. And so fasting is about taking a period of time where I set these things aside, remind ourselves, I don't need these, and we replace them with God. So remember, we don't just fast from our phone so we have more time to watch TV. We always want to replace it with God. The other thing about fasting is that it can provide us with more clarity and guidance and even deeper connection with God. There's nothing in the Bible that we see that commands us how often to fast or how long it has to be. But Jesus just assumed that we would, like in Matthew 6, when he talks about when you fast. Here's some things to keep in mind. So fasting is most often practiced, we see in the Bible, as a situational practice. So if you're having a season where you're like, man, God, I really need some guidance in a decision, or I just want to feel close to God again, I'm feeling distant, fasting can be incredibly valuable for that. So let's talk about some of the ideas of how. Now, again, most of the time when we hear about fasting, we think about it when it comes to food, and you can certainly do that. I know you may have health restrictions that don't let you go completely without food, and here's the good news, that's okay. Don't get caught up in the legalism of fasting. I believe that's why God did not include, here's the 5 steps to do fasting 100% correctly. Just remember the heart. I'm setting aside something that is important to me, or I start to get kind of obsessed with, controlled by, to remember that all I need is God. So you can fast like all food and drink for 24 hours or 48 hours or try longer. There's some who will do, I'll do sort of drinks and shakes, kind of keep my energy up, but no food, or even just certain types of food. You could fast from sugar, fast from chocolate, if that's your thing. For me, it'd be chips and anything salty. Fasting from caffeine, fasting from alcohol, fasting just from any of these things that start to kind of control you. By the way, if you do decide to fast from caffeine, please warn your family and friends ahead of time that you might be a little crabbier than usual. Just kidding. But remember, fasting though isn't always about food. So we can set aside other things that get in the way. I know some people have done a shopping fast, which includes online shopping, that say for the next 30 days or next couple months, you say, I'm not going to buy anything except the bare necessities, grocery store for groceries, if you're out of a certain toiletry, whatever, but nothing extra. Just to remember that I don't need these things. I find my joy in God. And something great you can do is all the money you save from that, you could give generously to a spirit-led cause or to your local church. Another thing to fast from might be from online. Maybe for you, most of your time spent on social media or on YouTube or on WebMD, whatever it is for you. And what if you took a week, a couple months, you say, I don't do that. And with the extra time I save in that, I'm using some of that time to really reconnect with God. One thing I've tried this year with my wife is no TVs on Monday nights. Nothing, no screen time, and just play board games, read, try to reconnect. So remember, fasting, it's not necessarily that all these things are bad things, they're just things that are getting in the way and clouding you and your time and connection with God. Fasting reminds us that we don't need them, all we need is God. That you can't hold on to God until you let go of whatever it is for you.
Thanks for watching Faith in 5. If you like what you see, please like and share. If you're interested in making a donation to our ministry, please click the link below.